Hello, this is the GPS Insight Podcast, and I'm your host, Carla Wardin. We're talking to experts about everything to do with fleet and field. From telematics to dash cams to GPS tracking to today's issues, we're exploring what's going on in our industry together. Thanks for listening. Hello, I'm Carla Wardin with the GPS Insight Podcast, and today I'm speaking with Lisa Cheshire, our Product Manager Associate for ELD. She said it's a long title. It's not that long. We've got it, right? Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you, Carla?
Great. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me today.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your background.
So my background started off in trucking, as a commercial driver. I've driven everything from tractor trailers to oil rigs to school buses to medium duty. So I come from the world of an actual being on the road, using logs and the trucking side of things. So
That's so great because then you have such a different understanding than someone who hasn't done it before or hasn't used any of our products. How did you go from driving to here?
I kind of moved on from the driving side of things to getting all my training and understanding of the commercial hours of service, to developing training internally, to doing audits internally, externally, to consulting. And then I was working as a HSE safety advisor and a transportation advisor. And this job came up and it was a completely different, it was in the technical side of things, and I decided to take a chance.
Well, are you glad? How's it going?
Um, it's going. I do really miss being in the field and the ability to see and be hands-on. That's something I do miss. But taking the chance has given me kind of a new understanding on the technology side of things, and just advancing my skills to the more current skill set for everything with technology. And I've learned a lot.
Yes, there's so much to learn about technology. Can you talk about ELD? What do we offer for ELD? What new understanding do you have about the new technology?
So ELDs, we offer with the Canadian, the US brought in the ELD mandate first, and then Canada kind of aligned with them as well. So we bring in our application has it doesn't just have the ELD function in it. It has a, a more it's got forums, it's got dispatching. So our application actually has more functionality than your typical ELD has. So we do have just the ELD function. We have the fuel receipts. So you can put your supporting documents in the ELD that we have. Everything's in-house. So we don't use third-party vendors. It's all built in-house. Our dev team is in-house. So a lot of our ELD is we test it on the road. We're all internally having our finger, like having it, testing it. Um, and also too, it's with me being a product owner, and like I started this from a piece of paper on a piece of paper, a draw out on a piece of paper of what I envisioned, and it's kind of snowballed from there in a good way. But it was developed by me, it was thought of by me as a driver's standpoint, so to make it easier. So ours is, to me, I think our application is more user friendly than a lot of applications out there, just because we looked at it as a driver's perspective and not as an admin's perspective, because the driver is ultimately the one using it.
Mhm. Tell me more about your initial sketch. When you were initially drawing this out, what did you want to exist? What didn't exist that you were hoping for?
What to me didn't exist is everything in one little screen. So I know with some other applications, you've got to go back to the main menu and select from the main menu and then come back. And it's not very clear to the driver where everything is. So what I envisioned when we sketched it out is that the driver could the driver was in one area and didn't have to go back and forth between menus. So the functionality was right there in front of them. Um, I didn't have, once again, I didn't have a lot of technical background. So everybody was using different programs to sketch things out. And I had no technical ability at that time. So I just drew it out on a piece of paper, and then the dev team put my sketches out into an actual functioning app. So that's what we envisioned, is everything was in one area for the driver, and it was easy to use.
So easy to use, that's obviously part of it that benefits the customers. What else about your role and about ELD is benefiting our customers?
So benefiting, I'm involved in a lot of conversations, both on the government side of things and internally with this transportation associations. So I stay up on top of what's changing, what's evolving, and what we can add as a driver's perspective to make the user experience much better. So adding the fuel was something, adding the DVIR, adding customizable DVIRs, because each truck is different on its own. So now the carrier can customize those DVIRs so the driver's not wasting their time going through key points that aren't even applicable to the vehicle they're driving. So my my position is helping to evolve us in a good way and bring us kind of to a more streamlined system for both the fleet user and then the driver's everyday use case.
That seems like a pretty great evolution, going from paper to reality and technology. What are you seeing in our industry that you haven't seen before?
Technology. Back when I drove, when I started driving, I used the paper log system. When I had a fleet of drivers, I had to go through paper logs manually. Now, just as I was coming to the end of my driving career, is when kind of ELDs started becoming a thing. And with the evolving of technology and the e-log system and the app, it is frustrating because technology does fail sometimes, and you do have to use paper. Paper's always there, it never fails. But evolving into the more technical side of things, with not only everything such as like the ELDs, but the autonomous vehicles, the electric vehicles, is now in the transport industry, is the technologies coming and evolving with us. I think the industry was a little bit stagnant, and now we're kind of moving forward with the rest of the world and catching up. And I think that's why it's so hard to accept on a lot of levels, is because it's evolving so quickly, because we were behind by so much.
Yeah, I'm glad it's happening quickly. The faster, the better, in my opinion.
Right.
How did it go for you with becoming part of GPS Insight?
So I came over from the acquisition from Certified Tracking. So I was brought on from Certified Tracking and migrated in. I came in as ELD compliance specialist, was my position at that time. And then with the acquisition, I moved on to product manager associate. So now I deal with both ELD, US and Canada. So I've kind of evolved in my role, and now I pretty much have my hands on both sides, Canada and US, of the ELD world.
You've got North America right here. And what's a regular day for you? You work from home?
I do work from home. I do have a desk at the office. I do try and go in. Just sometimes with life, it's easier to get up, grab your coffee, and Sometimes phone calls start at 5 a.m., sometimes phone calls start at 8 a.m. So it's all dependent. I don't have a standard come to the office at 8 o'clock. So sometimes I'm in the office till 9 o'clock. Sometimes I get off early. So typical day, no 2 days are the same.
What are your plans for the rest of the year, and what's going on with the product that you're developing?
One of the key products that I'm really excited for, and that we're right in the middle of putting the whole design together, is building of reports. A lot of functionality that admins use is pulling reports, pulling drivers drive report, IFTA reports, duty reports, and helping them to do more streamlined audits with within their company so they can audit the driver quickly. So the reports will make the fleet administrator's life so much easier. So that's what my focus is this year, is to build reports that will help simplify the fleet admin's everyday use.
Making people's lives easier. That is a good goal. Everyone's going to love that.
Yeah.
We've all seen dash cam videos of, crazy things happening with drivers and things that they're seeing that have nothing to do with them. When you were a driver, did you have anything really unusual happen?
Yes, we've had it wasn't when I was a driver. We had multiple vehicles stolen, and
Aw.
some of them, the videos the videos were in place up until the theft actually pulled them out. I think one of the most kind of intense ones that I have seen in my life is with the Fort McMurray. We had Fort McMurray that actually burnt down uh May. I want to say it was quite a few years ago, but the whole city caught on fire, and we were able to actually see a lot of the dash cams. Some of the trucks were abandoned, and the dash cams stayed active. So we actually did watch one of our trucks burn, and the dash cam actually stayed on until it finally burnt, it engulfed in flames. But some of them, they were parked in front of the houses. It Mother Nature is, she's beautiful, but she can be a little destructive. And I think that was one of the most interesting ones to watch, where there was nobody was hurt, nobody was killed in the fire, so thankfully. But it was really kind of, it made you respect Mother Nature, watching what she can do on these dash cams of these trucks that were kind of in place in the fires.
I'm in Michigan, and we're getting the effects of the wildfires in Canada right now. So, yep, beautiful but destructive.
Yes. It really,
Dash cam was there to get it all.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and many accidents were something else when we did accident investigations, is the accidents were a lot easier to investigate and determine who was at fault or what was the root cause. How can we change the drivers? How can we change things within our company, kind of thing? But the dash cams, and safety wise, we did have some that were front visualizations. Some drivers didn't have some stuff in their cab tied down. Those resulted in injury from an accident. So the dash cams actually helped make us change and adjust our safety policies and our safety internally, rather than just constantly we were never watching drivers, and we were there to assist them and prove that they weren't they weren't the root cause. There were other elements.
Yes, so much easier to prove it when you have a video showing exactly what happened. Why is GPS Insight a place that people would want to work with?
So it's a place that, to me, I've learned a lot from a lot of key people in here. different ways of leadership. They're very team. It's a team. It's not, if something falls down and you got to pick it back up, you're not picking it back up on your own. There's a whole team of people that help you. So you wear your one hat, and everybody has their own hat, but when an incident happens, everybody throws their hat into the pot and kind of helps where they can and what they're capable of doing. So to me, GPSI has been a great team environment. And working in my previous industries, it's been a team environment, but it's never been this much of a we can do it together team environment.
It is a great feeling to know that you have people backing you up all the time.
It does make life easier.
What do you like to do when you're not working?
So I do like to travel, but that's been put on hold because of the whole things that's been happening. So now that the world has opened up, my husband and I, my kids like to travel. We like to go, just even if it's just within Alberta or within Canada. We like to we go quadding. We just put a swimming pool in our backyard. So now we're hanging out by the swimming pool when it's not raining.
Were your kids thrilled?
They were. It was a lot of work to get it done. So they got to use some heavy equipment in the backyard.
Oh,
Or
you put it in, like you did it yourself?
Well, it's just an above ground, but you had to tamp everything. We had to get a little backhoe to flatten everything. So they're enjoying it, but we've had probably a week straight of rain.
Wow.
So we put it in for a week, enjoyed it for a week, and now we've been just letting it fill up with the rain.
Even though I'm not very far from you, it hasn't rained in like weeks. So that's very different. Okay, last question. Where do you get your motivation to be good at your job and be good at your out of job life?
My motivation, sometimes I gotta dig deep for it. But I do wake up every morning. I do work out every morning. So my motivation kind of starts with me talking my brain into getting up and actually moving and getting that workout in and motivating myself. I find if I get my butt out of bed, my whole day is a little bit more motivated. I'm more motivated in my day, and just, being someone that my kids can look up to, and being a good role model, getting up every morning and pushing through no matter what life throws at you, to show my kids every day.
Well, your kids seem pretty lucky. That's a great way to put it. Oh. Thank you for being on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.